For centuries, knowledge has been hidden in plain sight across the sands of time. Whispers of lost civilizations, cryptic symbols, and forbidden histories have been erased or concealed. What if the truth was never lost, but hidden? Welcome to Eye of Ancient Mysteries, where the past speaks and the future listens. Sit back, open your mind, and prepare to uncover the untold secrets of our world. Let the journey begin now. Mysteries of Gagarin's death, killed on Brezhnev's orders or lost on a flight to the moon. At only 34 years old, Gagarin died in a bizarre incident during a flight in a training aircraft. The official reports are contradictory, and conspiracy theories abound. According to some of them, Yuri did not die accidentally, but was eliminated on Brezhnev's orders. Others claim that he actually took part in a mission to orbit the moon, which ended fatally. Still others believe that the cause of his death was his weakness for alcohol. In Yuri Gagarin, The Truth Behind the Legend, researchers Jamie Doran and Piers Bizzani cite the words of Yuri's own brother, who suspected that the cosmonaut was eliminated at Brezhnev's request. My parents did not know what to believe. We thought Brezhnev had ordered Yuri's death. When my brother was on official visits with him, no one paid attention to Brezhnev, and he hated not being listened to. He wanted attention only for himself and for no one else. In life there are no accidents, only causes that lead to them. I do not believe in coincidences either. Everything was arranged right up to the last minute. And his sister Zoya stated, saw Yura for the last time at his graduation on February 18, when he received his diploma from the Zhukovsky Academy together with German Stepanovich Tatov. Yura was very happy to receive his diploma after such hard work. 5 weeks later we heard of his death on the radio. No one told us anything, no one warned us, nothing. I felt terrible, and so did our mother. There was never any clear information about Yura's death, only speculation and rumors, the worst one could imagine. But I feel that he was helped to die. It is a fact that Gagarin was Khrushchev's favorite, and on his orders he traveled to many countries as an ambassador of Soviet achievements in the space race with the USA. But his successor, Brezhnev, did not display such warmth toward Gagarin. That is why the cosmonaut's relatives were always left with the suspicion that the leader himself might have decided Yuri's fate. According to another theory, Gagarin perished as a hero while attempting a flight around the moon. It is no secret that after his return from space, Gagarin repeatedly insisted on being given another chance to fly. He wanted to surpass his own achievement of 108 minutes in orbit, and according to insiders, he took part in a secret Lunar team. In fact, even Gagarin's first mission was prepared in complete secrecy, and it was only officially announced after he had landed alive. Even his wife and mother learned the truth from the radio. Therefore, some researchers suggest that Yuri again took part in preparations for an ultra-secret mission. But this time it ended fatally, which is why it was never announced. It is claimed that the story of the airplane crash was invented so as not to tarnish the glory of Soviet cosmonauts. Declassified documents reveal that at the same time, unmanned test launches of the Soyuz 7K L-1 spacecraft were being carried out and Zond 4 was being prepared for a flight around the moon. Researchers are certain that if such a program existed and Gagarin knew about it, he would undoubtedly have volunteered. He himself emphasized many times that he dreamed of returning to space. According to official records, on March 27, 1968, during a training flight, a MiG-15 UTI aircraft piloted by Colonel Gagarin and instructor Colonel Seryogin crashed at 10:31 a.m. in the area of Novosiolovo, 18 kilometers from the town of Kurzak. In The Truth Behind the Legend, the authors describe a horrifying scene. The nose of the plane was driven with immense force several meters into the frozen ground due to the inertia of the heavy engine block. The team tried to dig the cockpit out of the earth. They found it completely crushed and the bodies of the two men inside torn apart. To their horror, the soldiers spent hours pulling out fingers of hands and feet, pieces of ribcage and skull. They were scattered across the crater, through the forest, even on the surrounding trees. Some trees had to be cut down in order to retrieve pieces of metal cloth and flesh from the upper branches. It became clear that the plane's collision with the trees had destroyed the cockpit even before the final impact with the ground smashed everything. The official conclusion stated that the aircraft had made a sharp maneuver, spun, went into a tailspin, and crashed into the ground. The circumstances were strange because both men were experienced pilots, the weather was good, and there were no signs of a malfunction. A theory emerged that the error lay with Yuri himself, who was rumored to have a weakness for alcohol. These rumors appeared in various sources about the cosmonaut's life after his flight. According to researchers, Gagarin was a brilliant cosmonaut trained with a strong psyche, but the real difficulty for him was life after the flight. His biographers explain that he had trouble coping with fame, the constant parades, official visits, and conferences. Yuri preferred to devote himself to new achievements rather than spending his life repeating stories about the past. Yet in the years after his flight, he was like a doll, carried from country to meet everyone who wished to see him. For more than 2 years, he traveled continuously, visited over 30 countries, and met thousands of people. All Soviet leaders longed to speak with him, as did presidents, politicians, scientists, artists, and musicians. The boy from the village became the most famous person on the planet, but fame seemed to weigh on him. Instead of training and preparing for new flights, Gagarin's life became endless official visits, dinners, and toasts. Some researchers of his life therefore believe it is entirely plausible that he became an alcoholic, which affected his work. He gained nearly 10 kilograms, gave up active sports, and often fell into depression. In the book, The Mystery of Gagarin's Death, Sergei Leksev writes, "Immediately after the crash of Gagarin and Seryogin, a rumor spread that both were in fact drunk. The night before the flight, They had supposedly attended a celebration of a colleague's 50th birthday, but Seryogin's wife categorically denied this. The night before the flight, my husband went to bed at 10. I asked him, "Why so early?" And he replied, "Tomorrow I will be testing Yura, and I must be in good shape." In the morning he left for work in a good mood. He said, "Today is a fine day." But an accident happened. Another theory holds that the crash was caused by the unauthorized passage of another aircraft near Gagarin's. Whether it was accidental or whether he was deliberately sent there remains a mystery to this day. Years later, Alexei Leonov, deputy head of the Cosmonaut Training Center, would dare to publicly voice his suspicions that a Su-15 fighter had accelerated and passed within 10-15 meters of Gagarin's plane, sending it into a spiral at 750 km/h, after which it slammed into the ground. In The Truth Behind the Legend, it is emphasized, Alexei Leonov was convinced that he heard an explosion and the boom of a sonic barrier being broken. He was certain that another, much faster aircraft had intruded into the same airspace at the wrong moment. But when Leonov tried to persuade his colleagues on the investigative commission to consider this possibility, all his efforts ran into an invisible wall.